In today's video, I am so excited to be sharing my bathroom refresh. Now, this is a no demo refresh. This is probably going to be one of the last places that we completely redo in the house. So I wanted to spruce it up, make it a little bit more me, and something that I cannot wait to come and take a bath in. I take a bath every single night, so I wanted to make sure that this space felt like me. Also, you just saw our little olive tree. We planted that probably the first week we moved in hopes that one day eventually it would completely fill the window. But until then, we're going to hang the most beautiful sheer curtains. Chris is just over here hanging the curtain rod. And you guys, I cannot wait to show you this space. Also, we've had the pendant hanging in the bathroom for about a year now, and it is definitely staying. So I'm going to be adding this little olive tree and vintage pot to the bathroom. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity to show you guys how I go about planting my plants. I get so many questions about how I plant them, how I water them. So I thought we would do that really quick, and then we'll get back to the rest of the bathroom refresh.
Plant this directly in here. I always keep it in the pot that it came. So I got this one from Trader Joe's. It's just an olive tree. I'm just going to take this little plastic part off, and then I'll plant that in or put it in the pot. So I always will just take a regular box that you see here and just put it at the bottom for height, because remember, I'm not going to plant it. So if I put it in the pot, it'll be so low. So I don't want that. I want it to be like up to here. You know what I mean? So we're just going to take this little box that we got from Amazon and we're going to put it right in the bottom. Then what I always do is I will take this saucer, and these you can get at Lowe's, you can get them at Home Depot, you can get them anywhere by the indoor plants, and I always get it a size bigger than what the actual one is, maybe sometimes 2 sizes bigger, just so that when I water it, it has a place for all the water to collect. Because remember, it needs drainage, and if you see, it is now level with the actual pot. So then I just take whatever packing stuff I have, whether that be paper, bubble wrap. I always just save it and throw it in the box or in the closet, just so that I have some on hand. Because your girl likes plants, okay? I have an issue, I have a problem, I know. And then I just take it and I fill it in all the way around, like so. And this is just so the plant doesn't move around when we put it in its spot. And there, that is like pretty much all we need. Then I use just this sheet moss. And there's no like real measurements to this. I just cut it. So then literally all I do is take the sheet moss and I'll cut it kind of where I feel like the little stem is gonna be. And I literally just go like this, you guys. It is so easy. So I'll cut like another little small one, and like I'll fill it in to where it will look more realistic. I'll give it a nice good water with my all-time favorite fertilizer. And then I just right now am just using an old milk carton, because this fertilizer calls for 1 capful of this to 1 gallon of water. And normally I measure on, normally I feed them on Fridays, and it's Friday, so that's perfect.
Then I like to pick up the mess and sprinkle it on top just to make it feel that much more realistic. That way there are some loose pieces and some that are connected to the piece itself. And now that Chris is done hanging the curtains, it is all mine, and I thought I would give the floors one really good clean before we started putting everything in its place. Okay, now the fun part. Let's start putting this bathroom together, you guys. It is going to be so good.
I got super white linen shears. I felt like that was going to be the most beautiful and most organic, light. I wanted it to feel light, bright. So I ended up getting these sent to me from 2 Pages.
And I've already hung one panel and I am so obsessed, so I cannot wait to see what the next panel looks like. I absolutely love this side table. The height and everything with the potted plant is so, so perfect. I then decided to use this wooden ladder that I picked up from an antique store about 4 years ago. I love the organic and earthiness that it provided the space, and then I just paired it with my black and white towels that you guys saw in a recent haul. Just when I thought the bathroom was almost done, I decided to do another DIY. I wanted a bathtub caddy, and I found this one on Mcgee & Co., but I was not willing to spend over $100 for just what looked like a piece of wood. So I went over to Home Depot. I searched their wood. The one on Mcgee & Co. had mango wood. Home Depot did not have that, so I opted for poplar because I didn't want anything that had any knots in it. I then went through all of the boards to get the straightest one, and then I saw that there was already some that were cut kind of in the back, and so instead of trying to find somebody to cut it to my size, I just opted to grab the ones that were already cut. I then got home and put Chris right to work. So I opted to kind of get the same measurements as on the Mcgee & Co. website, except I believe it was like 1.5 inches shorter in width just because that was our tub. And then we picked this Christmas tree stand to just kind of round it out, but I decided that that was not round enough. So Chris just free-handed the rest of the circle to make it look more like the inspo pic. We then secured the board and got the jigsaw out and started cutting. After that, we then got the sander out and just sanded down the edges to just make it so that it wasn't so sharp. And we wanted it to be very round, kind of like it was found. You know how like when an antique piece is really, really old and the edges are very round and very, very smooth? That's what we did there. And here we are just cutting the pieces that go into the bottom. Then I told Chris I wanted to rough it up, but he did not get the memo. I wanted it to look like the inspo pic. So that is why he started drawing lines, because that is exactly what is on the inspo pic. There's no beading. It's just these very, very deep, deep lines. So we used the chisel to achieve this. And lastly, we could not forget the sides. I feel like this could be a dead giveaway that it was a DIY. Now we're going to put on the bottom parts that's going to hold it on the bathtub. I don't even know how to explain this, and I don't even know what pieces are used, but Chris decided to make this little thing, I guess it's called, and he used dowels, and here we're just putting a little bit of wood in, and you're going to see the little piece that he made with the dowels. We're going to hammer it in so that it is all nice and secure, and now we're going to stain. You guys, we are so close to the finished product. Okay, we are now going to reveal the bathroom makeover part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 when we do the countertops and the shelf styling. So let's see the bathroom in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.